All right, let's jump right into today's explainer. Modern digital media is evolving so fast just to grab and hold the attention of a super sophisticated global audience. Today, we're literally unpacking the evolving playbook of modern media platforms by breaking down the core structure, the vision, and the specific promises of Menged Media. If you've been wondering how bilingual platforms are strategically cutting through all that digital noise and carving out a space in a totally packed market, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to dive deep into their approach to see what actually makes their strategy tick.
Before we zoom in on the specifics, it's incredible to consider the sheer density and ambition of their entire platform. What they are building is a massive, comprehensive ecosystem. They clearly aren't trying to just do one thing or cater to some tiny micro-niche. No, they want the whole shebang, capturing the full spectrum of their audience's media diet, going from heavy, hard-hitting analysis all the way to joyous cultural celebration. We're going to use this structural layout as our roadmap today so we can really grasp their strategy and see how all these distinct puzzle pieces snap together.
So, our roadmap today covers 5 key areas. Welcome to Menged Media. Pillar 1, education. Pillar 2, news and opinion. Pillar 3, entertainment. And finally, the platform's core promise.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1. Welcome to Menged Media.
Right out of the gate, they broadly define themselves as an info and educational platform. But hey, they definitely don't stop there. They expand that scope way out to include global news, entertainment, and live events, ultimately stamping the whole thing with this massive promise of authentic content. This is a genuinely fascinating look into how you build an ecosystem in modern media. See, they aren't trying to be a channel you visit once a week for one hyper-specific topic. Instead, they're aiming to be your go-to hub. By blending heavy, analytical global news with lighter entertainment and actual in-person live events, they're stepping up to serve the full spectrum of their audience's intellectual and cultural needs, all under one unified banner.
Moving right along to Section 2, Pillar 1, which is education.
At the absolute heart of this first pillar is a super clear commitment to deep dive analysis. Let's be real, in a digital landscape that is completely swamped with quick sound bites, clickbait headlines, and frankly, surface-level summaries, Menged Media is deliberately carving out a space for thorough, detailed exploration of really complex topics. They are signaling loud and clear to their audience that they aren't just going to skim the surface to get some quick engagement. Instead, they're ready to do the heavy analytical lifting. They want to provide the real, substantive depth and context that we all know modern audiences are seriously craving right now.
And this really brilliantly illustrates their core educational philosophy, focusing on how to think. Notice they aren't saying they'll tell you what to think. That is a massive, game-changing distinction in media today. Telling people what to think usually just breeds polarization and skepticism, right? But by focusing on the mechanics of critical thought, literally equipping viewers with the mental gears and compasses to evaluate information on their own, they are actively empowering their audience. This approach is absolutely fundamental if you want to build long-term trust and establish your platform as a rock-solid resource, rather than just another megaphone shouting specific opinions.
Okay, let's hit Section 3, Pillar 2, news and opinion. Now check out their deliberate use of the phrase bold and outspoken. This signals a very direct, highly active, and fearless approach to covering current events. They definitely aren't promising quiet or passive reporting here. The vibe is that they fully intend to tackle the difficult, maybe even controversial topics head-on. By positioning themselves as outspoken, they're making it clear they want to be a vibrant, leading voice, one that actively shapes the daily conversation, not one that just quietly takes notes from the sidelines.
But to balance out all that boldness, they make a super vital commitment to diverse perspectives. And honestly, this is absolutely crucial for the credibility of any news platform today. Because think about it, you can be incredibly outspoken, but if you aren't actively showcasing a wide range of viewpoints, you're just going to build an ideological echo chamber. They are making sure their listeners get exposed to multiple angles of a story, and that is exactly what fosters healthy dialogue, robust debate, and a much, much more comprehensive understanding of what's actually happening in the world.
Which brings us to Section 4, Pillar 3, entertainment.
Here, they specifically highlight cultural events, which deeply grounds their entertainment offerings in community and shared human experiences. This tells us their version of entertainment goes way, way beyond isolated, mindless doom-scrolling on your phone. It's really about bringing people together to actively celebrate heritage, art, and identity. In a world that's getting more digital by the second, a media platform that actually promotes and facilitates lively, communal, real-world energy, that is a real game-changer. It gives their audience a highly valuable way to genuinely connect with one another.
I absolutely love this specific tagline they use. Suitable for your ears. It's just a really clever way of setting the expectation for high-tier audio quality and a super comfortable, engaging listening experience. Whether that means top-notch production values for their broadcasts, amazing acoustics at their cultural events, or just incredibly engaging storytelling, they are explicitly guaranteeing that the audio side of this third pillar is going to be carefully curated and, well, just highly enjoyable to listen to.
And finally, Section 5, the platform's core promise.
So when we step back and look at how these individual pillars build into one overarching brand identity, you can truly appreciate the wildly ambitious range of content they're promising. Balancing bold and outspoken news on one end of the spectrum with joyous cultural events on the other highlights a massive operational span. I mean, successfully bridging the gap between hard-hitting, rigorous current events and community-driven celebratory entertainment. That requires a serious amount of balance and big-picture structural vision to pull off seamlessly.
But here's the thing, the unifying thread tying this entire platform together, from the deep dive analysis all the way to the lively cultural events, is their foundational guarantee of authentic content. In today's hyper-saturated digital landscape, authenticity is literally the ultimate currency. Audiences are so savvy now, they instantly tune out platforms that feel manufactured or fake. By explicitly guaranteeing genuine, authentic delivery across three vastly different content pillars, Menged Media is making a direct, powerful play for long-term audience trust. It's basically the ultimate benchmark for every single thing they produce.
Naturally, they round out their entire message with a classic, clear call to action to build their community, telling viewers to like, share, and subscribe. It's a great reminder that a multifaceted platform like this doesn't just grow in a vacuum. It absolutely thrives on and frankly requires active audience interaction. They're counting on their informed viewers to act as ambassadors and help spread like wildfire the word about these three pillars.
So, after breaking down this entire comprehensive platform into its core components, it leaves us with a really interesting thought. We've seen their rock-solid commitment to deep education, diverse news, and rich cultural entertainment. The question you got to ask yourself is, what specific type of authentic content are you most eager to engage with today? Which of Menged Media's three pillars will you explore first to broaden your own perspective? Thanks so much for diving into this explainer with me today.